your songs and your bars is just as fire as Stove God, Benny the Butcher, Conway. Would you agree? I think so.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Nah, I appreciate that, man. Like even hearing you say things like that, I mean, that's amazing to me. You know, even to know I could even be at that plateau, I could even touch those greats. So, you know what I mean? I appreciate that. I feel like I'm where I need to be, you know? So even if that's there, then I respect being there, you know? I don't feel like, I feel like there's more for me. I keep getting better. I keep my pen sharp. I'm always writing. I'm always in a mix. I'm always doing features. So all I could do is get better. So you saying that, now, you know, there's no really, you know, telling how far I can go with this. So I appreciate that. Word, I think I'm there.
Who's killing rap? Is it the industry, the rappers, or a lack of support? A friend of yours,
Okay.
Fox 5,
Oh, man.
passed away.
Yeah.
And surprised everybody how he passed away.
Yeah.
What do you think about the statement that Gangsta Lou made? It's not an interview, it's a conversation. Mercy, the Harlem Kid, sincerely yours.
Right.
Was that your first project?
Yeah.
Solo project?
Yeah. Folks,
Okay.
solo project. Yes, sir.
To me, this is your Illmatic. You know what I mean?
It's powerful.
I think it's a dope project.
Appreciate you.
And it should have been, I would say, up there with the Benny the Butcher, Stove God.
Fire.
Because I feel like your bars and your songs could match up to what they're putting out. You know what I'm saying?
Love. I appreciate that.
Why you think you didn't achieve that, like that success for that project?
I don't think I didn't receive the credit due for that. I feel like I got what was needed. But again, it was one of those first like real serious albums that I really put out there for the masses, you know. This was one I took time with. Me, and this is one of the projects that I had fully produced by just one producer, Ben Jesus. So I had time to speak to Ben Jesus, curate a lot of the beats, you know, talk to him about what I was looking for this project. And we got to figure out, you know, what other features that would work for me at that point of time. And that's when the creative started coming into play. I was in a dark place, you know. I knew I had to put something out there for the people that the people can relate to. And also really just express myself and who I am as an artist and as an individual. So it's not me really trying to, you know, be like any of my peers that were out there. I was just trying to do my own thing and tell my story, you know? Right. And that's something nobody else could do but me. So I felt like this is something I wanted to put out to the people that can be something relatable to my audience out there.
Okay. So did you record this album at home or in a professional studio?
At home.
At home.
At the professional studio.
Oh, okay. Well, so this is, everything is in one room, or the booth is in the bathroom? Like, what was the set? What was the set?
We got a booth. We got a booth set up. You know, I actually, anything that you hear from me, I record myself. Everything is about ownership. So I don't really, you know, unless it's a feature or something like that, I would record home, you know, and get mixed outside, outsourced to the, you know, for mixing. But yeah, everything in house. You know, as an independent artist, saves money.
Right.
Yeah.
So the project is done. Sincerely Yours is done. How did you promote this project?
So for promoting, what we did was we went mostly on internet based, put most of the money through, you know, Facebook ads, Instagram, you know, put some stuff out there in terms of some playlists out there for Spotify. but also did not want to oversaturate with marketing. Most was done, solely through myself in terms of promotion and pushing. Hit a lot of DJs. A lot of DJs got it. Did a whole press kit. Send out to a bunch of individuals that are into this boom bap music. So I mean, and mostly it was all for self.
Yeah.
Most of the hard work, the pushing every day I'm online, sharing. So mostly myself, really. That was for the fact of seeing real numbers, seeing the real audience, seeing where I really, stand in today's market, basically. So I didn't want to push too much with marketing. I really just wanted to see who my core fan base was, being that it was like my first serious project.
Right.
Right.
Now, what was one of the greatest compliments you got about this album? Did somebody famous say, "Yo, that's crazy. That's a dope album"? Somebody you look up to give you a great compliment on the album?
A couple people. Fleet Lloyd, G4 Jag, man, Lord Sid, God rest his soul. Who else?
What did Lord Sears say?
It's hot.
Right.
So you got something, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got something, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just it was a lot of individuals that was hitting back, but mostly of my peers, in order to, it's not like I fully promoted it to like, Sony or, Atlantic or anything. It's not something I was really shopping. It was more just getting it to the masses and just letting them know, hey, I'm here. Knock, knock, I'm at the door. Open up. Facts.
So were you comfortable, or were you in a space where, okay, the project came out, I feel good about it, I accept what it did, this is good for me? Yeah?
Absolutely.
Did you want it to do more, or you just say, okay, I accept what it did, this is good for me?
In today's market nowadays, you just gotta, you accept what you put out mostly. You can push the whole bag into one project, or you could be consistent and keep putting out more projects. That was literally just a stepping stone into figuring out what direction I really wanted to go with my audience. Really seeing where I stand lyrically, and also just trying to put something great out for the people and just not put regular rap out. I didn't want to be like everybody else. I wanted to actually say something. I wanted to drop gems. I really wanted to educate. And that was the goal. And I feel like I touched all bases with that project.
Okay. But you do agree that your songs and your bars is just as fire as Stove God, Benny the Butcher, Conway. Would you agree? I think so.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Nah, I appreciate that, man. Like, even hearing you say things like that, that's amazing to me. Even to know I could even be at that plateau, I could even touch those greats. So, I appreciate that. I feel like I'm where I need to be. So even if that's there, then I respect being there. I don't feel like, I feel like there's more for me. I keep getting better. I keep my pen sharp. I'm always writing. I'm always in the mix. I'm always doing features. So all I could do is get better. So you saying that, now, there's no really, telling how far I can go with this. So I appreciate that. Word. I think I'm there. I think I'm where I need to be. Word.
So basically, you're saying you're just as good.
You gonna have people here in my inbox. No doubt. Yeah. No doubt, man. I feel like, I'm content.
Right.
I'm there. I'm there. Word.
Why the name Sincerely Yours?
Oh man. So around that time, my brother Sincere actually passed away. And I named it Sincerely Yours. It was like, it just made sense. It was like, this is my letter. This is me, like basically signing off to the people. You know, boom, this is the blueprint. This is me. Like this is just a rough cover of me, but there's more on the inside, but I'm gonna get to that later, basically. You know, but naming it Sincerely Yours, it was mostly just showing respect to my brother Sincere that passed away a couple of years ago, and he was a believer of who I was, and he will always support, you know, the merch, the lyrics, you know, the music that came out. So it was just good timing, you know, and well, I'm not even saying good time, guys. That's, you know, but it was just like, it's something that I had to do for him, you know. I had to put that out there for him for sure, show my respect.
How do you write?
So what I like to do is I like to get the beat first. I like to go through certain beats, or I might have it, you know, I might work with the producer right then and there and try to work something up. For that project there, me and Ben Jesus actually worked on a couple of beats together, and some beats, you know, he had locked and loaded. You know, there was some things that I needed out. There were some things that needed working, but he was fully on board for getting whatever needed to get fixed. So, yeah, I like to get the beats. I like to get the feeling. I knew the vibe. I knew the direction that I wanted to go, but I needed to feel. I needed the soul. I needed the heartbeat, you know? So I would get some stuff from Ben Jesus, and the ones that I picked out were no-brainers. It was like, listen, this it's go time, you know? So I like to get the beat first, then I write to the, you know what I mean, to the actual beat.
At what point in life did you say to Jesus, take the wheel?
Man, you know what? I've always gave Jesus the will. You know what I mean? Like, I've always been a man of God, you know, but I learned from all my lessons, you know. I've always been in church. Grandma was bringing you to church. Mom, dudes bring you to church. You got the old peppermints and all that, you eating and all of that, you know. So I grew up in church, but I've always known Jesus had the will. It was just me to learn, you know. I was hard-headed. It is what it is. But I had to learn from those type of things. And those made me the man that I am today. I know, you know, now, you know, just gotta, you know, stay in your lane. Focus, you know what I mean? Keep your eyes on the prize. Word.
Was it something you saw or something happened while you say, you know what, I want to write this song, Jesus, take the wheel?
Like I said, it was just those dark times. Just telling my story. And it was just like, that was just one of those times that I wanted to show the people, like, yeah, I you know, it's not all of this, you know, hard shell here and, you know, I'm tough and all of that, but I give it to God. I let go and let God. It's nothing I control. I'm just living the life that God gave me. I'm just, in order not to be in no wrongs, you gotta at least do the work though. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know, so I try to stay out the way. I know if I'm outside at a certain time, some things can happen. You feel what I'm saying? And only the devil working that night. You know what I mean? Why shouldn't I be home with the wife and kids like that? You know what I mean? I'd rather be there because I know outside something can happen. You know what I mean? So I'd rather not give it that, you know, I'd rather not even give it to him now. Now I'm just in the house. I'm macking. I've learned from those things, you know. I wanna live to see my kids grow, you know. I got more things to live for. You know, at those times when I was running those streets, I didn't have nothing, you know. I lived for myself. You always hear you ain't gonna live till you 18. I'm like, oh, I made it to 18. Let's go. Let's see if I make it to 21. Let's go. Now I'm just trying to make it to C40. I'm trying to make it to C50. I'm just trying to see my kids grow. Word.
Right.
You know what I mean? So yeah, man. I feel like when I knew it was time, I would say around like just getting out of college, you know, going into being a full adult.
Okay. Was it worth it when you look back, the street life? Was it worth it?
Every last bit of it. I don't regret nothing. Word.
Okay.
Word.
What's one thing you learned that you carry with you now from the streets?
anything I do might harm somebody, you know? And when you know, for every action there's a reaction. You gotta be mindful of others, you know? Yeah, treat others like you want to be treated. Gotta show respect to get it respect. When mercy is shown, mercy is given.
Right.
Always.
Right. So I want to talk about who's killing rap. Is it the industry, the rappers, or a lack of support? Let me go first. I'll say I think it's the rappers. I think the live performance are horrible. They're making mediocre music. Live performance should be traditional, to where you go perform your songs live. There's a show track, there's ad libs, and a hook.
Right.
Dudes do live performance now, and they're rapping over an entire song. The song is playing, and they're yelling over the song. I think that's what's actually killing rap, and also the lack of support. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
What do you think?
Yeah, I feel like artists themselves, the pieces of work that they put out, you know, that reflects on who they are and the performance that they might put on. I do feel like it's the support also, you know, especially in New York City. I mean, New York City and a lot of other places that I see, like big cities, they try to go off the fact of, oh, you go out there, you sell these tickets, you bring in your little fan base, and, you know, you could perform, and it's just like, it's weird. Like, you know what I mean? I feel like the whole, you know, the scene is just whack. It's not people putting people on. It's basically those promoters using your fan base to make they plays live while they selling them drinks, and all of these tickets you selling is for the promoter. They ain't for you. It's, you know what I mean? Your fans are your fans. They coming out pulling up regardless, you know? So, and then when some people leave, like I said, some artists like to come to shows, they do their shows and they leave. You know, they won't say for other acts. They not really trying to, you know, look at other acts and what they doing, you know? So, it's really the rappers too.
Why do you think that is, though? Because I've seen it myself, to where even if it's a up and coming artist,
Right.
as soon as they perform, they leave.
Right.
What about the other 20 dudes that's supposed to be coming up to perform? Like, they're supposed to watch you perform, and as soon as you finish, you leave with your people.
I feel like they made it.
Yeah, I realize
they already feel like they already that dude and where they come from.
Yeah.
So they like, I ain't even coming with nobody. I'm just gonna come pull up, do my show, and then I'm a dip. Because they already feel like they're that, you know, they already lit. They not signed to nothing. They ain't got a pot to piss and window throw wet out of. Like, they got one pair of Mary jeans, some Jordans, and a Pele. And, you know what I mean? They lit like candlesticks. But like I said, to each his own. Those people are the ones not hustling. They not out there really putting feet to the ground, really, you know, out there shaking hands and really supporting others so others can support you, you know, and that's how you really bring it in. You got to support others. You know what I mean? You have to spend money as an artist, period. Like, so, and that's on the artist, you know, until you get signed. So, what you want to do, you know, this is not a cheap game. You know what I mean? Like, you could be a rapper if you want to, but it's costly. Word. It's not for everybody.
True. Now, with the lack of support, what I don't understand is, let's say you have, 5,000 followers on Instagram. Maybe you have another 5,000 on YouTube, right?
Right.
If these are, how would you say, loyal followers, and you drop a project, why wouldn't those 10,000 people support that project? It's so easy. You get what I'm saying? It's so easy.
Absolutely.
So how is it possible, right? There's no support when it's so easy.
All right. So when you say, all right, if you got 10,000 followers, right?
Right.
Now, even if so, you can have those type of followers. All your followers are not going to get the tracking that you're pushing out. So you can put a post out, your 10,000 followers are not going to see that one post. You know what I mean? Through the algorithm. You know what I mean? Only a percentage is going to see that post unless you start spending money. So you're already, like I said, spending money, you know. It's not like they don't want to support. They just probably ain't come up on their timeline due to their algorithm and what's going on their side. Or, you know, depending on how Facebook is pushing, or depending on what type of, you know, how you set it up, you know, that's who really gets to view it. You can have the 10,000, but the 10,000 not going to fully see it. You know, so that's how they stop you from getting to all your fans. The core that you have to build is with your core fans and building them to your own website, you know, not to distro or to Facebook or to YouTube. That's not where you're going. I mean, that's where you see your demographics and your numbers and stuff like that. But if you want to see your core like fan base, you got to build your own website, your own entity. That way they can come directly to you, and from you direct to your consumer. You know what I mean?
But don't it start there? Like social media, that's where it starts. Because those same people, right? If they wanted to support you, I get what you're saying, that they might not see what you put out there. But I think if they want to support you, they will support you. It's just that everybody thinks they're a celebrity. Like me, for example, I follow so many people. So many people follow me. But I realize like there's no interaction with my. What the fuck are you following me for? If we following each other and you're not interacting with my shit, what are you following me for?
Correct.
If I see your shit, I'm sure you see mine.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not supposed to be liking, sharing. Why you not following me? Why you not sharing my shit?
It depends on how he became your friend from jump.
It doesn't matter.
Right?
We're following each other.
No, absolutely correct. But we can be, like you just said, right? We can go to a show. You could be performing, I could be performing. I see you at the show. Yo, da 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 da. Let me get your contact. Like we gonna do something. We don't do shit.
Right.
I don't ever hit you up, but you on my book.
Why?
You on my Instagram.
Why?
Just cause.
What?
You're a number, I'm a number.
I'm follower what? 2001?
You see my shit, I see your shit. But at the end of the day, we don't link up with each other. It can come to that point where down the line we can make that happen, right?
It's not about linking up. It's about interacting.
Right.
On a social media.
Right. How do you get to that? Do you really want to interact with all those 10,000 people that you have on your Instagram?
Why not?
It can.
It's possible.
It can be possible.
10,000 people don't post every day. Maybe 200.
Right.
Right.
But you don't want to see all of those Instagram posts for them 10,000 people. I'm sure there's people that you got on your Facebook that you're following, but at the end of the day, they're not coming up on your algorithm. They're not coming up on your timeline, your feed. You know what I mean?
They do. Everybody who's following you and you're following them, they can see what you do.
For sure.
So there's no such thing as their algorithm. They can see what you do.
For sure.
Niggas is just bougie. And a lot of these niggas, like you said, they think they're already famous. They don't want to like you. Yo, I had a vlogger, right? I met a vlogger, and dude said to me, yo, follow me, subscribe to my channel. I said, all right, I got you, cool. The next day, he actually called me and said, yo, did you follow? Are you following me? Did you subscribe? I said, yeah. He said, I'm going to get to you, right? 2 months later, still ain't following me, still ain't subscribed. Like, what's the purpose here? I'm supposed to follow you and subscribe to you? I was confused. I'm like, you go through this to make a call to me.
They rather that number than anything.
You make a call to me when you can easily just press a button to follow me, but you make a call to me to ask me if I'm following you or I'm still subscribed to you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I'm like, this shit is weak. Like, the support is there, but people just don't want to do it. It's so easy.
Absolutely.
You should be selling downloads, bro. You should be selling downloads.
Absolutely.
Easily.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Every
project you put out, people who are following you, interacting with you, should be supporting.
No, absolutely. And
you know what I'm saying?
I'm a firm believer of the support, and that's why I feel like all the work I'm doing right now is for my base, so that way they know I'm serious about what I'm doing. And that's all I want to do before I start really reaching in and start looking for that financial support. You know, I can support this right now for us, for me to put this out so you guys can understand that I'm serious about this craft. I'm serious about this vision that I'm trying to put out for my people. So and I'm serious about the gems that I'm dropping, you know. So I'm trying to show them now, like, listen, this is what I got for you guys, and there's more, you know, down the road. But yes, yeah, for sure, that support is definitely needed. It's always, you know what I mean, it always helps out the artist. That's what helps us grow. That's what helps us keep putting music out and shooting these dope videos and shooting this, you know what I mean, making this dope music, you know what I mean? Word.
So in all, who would you say is killing rap?
What I say is killing rap. Right now,
Yeah.
who would I say is killing rap? I feel like the people that are killing rap are people that's not rapping.
And those people would be who?
Those people that talk about they rappers and they not rapping. They talk about doing music and don't do the music.
Right.
Or they do the music and it's only sitting in their CD player, or it's only music that they can hear and not putting it out to the masses. Those are the people that is killing hip hop because they're not putting it out for the people to hear. You know what I mean?
Right.
Facts.
So you okay with live performance as far as rappers go, rapping over their songs?
I feel like to each his own, right? Because I mean, I feel like I've been around artists that go into studios, and some people might do 2-bar setups. Some people might go do a crazy, you know, just, you know, in and outs, hopping in, and at the end of the day, when it comes to live performances, something that they can't do, they don't got the breath control for it, you know? So they might have to rap over their own lyrics because they're not really writing to the point where they can actually flow their whole song without losing breath.
So pretty much you're saying they don't take the craft serious? Because
It's not you don't take the craft serious. It's just that they make music that they couldn't perform live because when they went in the studio, they want to do 2-bar setups that don't work for them because they don't. That's not them. Like they can't fully just go and rap that actual verse. They have to need a breath in between, which makes them convert to just using the master track. You know, or they might forget a verse. They've done so much music, hopefully, that, you know, they might forget a verse, you know.
Right.
That's a sad situation. You being on stage and just forgetting the verse, you know what I mean? If people are paying for it, I feel like an artist should give them what they paying for. If you're out there, you know, and the setup is just trash and you're like doing like some karaoke bar type thing and, you know, people can't hear you, it's just weird vibes, do whatever you got to do to get it out of there.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, and you know what I mean? A serious artist, you at a stadium or something like that, you got to be on some Jada vibes. You gotta give me full bars. You know what I mean? As an artist, as a hip hop artist, you know. But there's not a lot of those people out nowadays. You know what I mean? Like now you just have different genres, you know, but you don't even know what to call them nowadays. Like there's drill, there's, you know what I mean, K-pop, all types of different things. You know what I mean? So to each his own. It's like, you know, whatever some people like, you know, some people fans just like them going over their bars and just spitting their regular songs, like, and they pay for it too.
How you feel about people who say once you get to a certain age, stop rapping? And they always compare rock and roll with rap. They'll say, oh, look at the rock and rollers. They're 70 years old, still doing live shows, still touring.
Absolutely.
But the difference is they do live performance.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So with a rapper sometimes, again, right, no matter how big they are, they still want to rap over their songs. You go see like some of these rock and rollers, they're giving you a live performance. Bro.
Right.
They stop, their voice stop.
Right.
The music stop, the music stop.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
A rapper, he's rapping and he'll stop. He'll go take a drink and the music's still playing.
Right.
His whole shit's still playing.
But okay, so you gotta think about it, right?
Yeah.
Even those rock stars, think about where they're performing. Then think about where these other rap artists are performing. These rap artists you talk about, right? Think of like, let's say, think of any, you know, rapper right now, but like a Wu-Tang. Wu-Tang not rapping over their raps. You know what I mean? Redman, he not rapping over his raps. LL Cool J definitely not rapping over his raps. I'm trying to think of like, you know what I mean? Maybe a younger artist.
No, yeah, forget it.
But give me another, like an artist that you feel like is rapping over their raps. Give me one.
From our time?
Yes,
or
from our times, right?
Jewels.
Jewels? Okay.
Dipset.
Okay.
Who else? There's a few more people.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So to get
Max B.
Okay.
French.
It's a Harlem thing? That's what you're doing?
No, I'm just saying.
We're a bunch of Harlem dudes right now.
French. Who else? There's a few people.
Right. Okay. So, all right. And again, it's wherever they're performing at, right? And I would think so, right? Because if you're in a, stadium or something like that, I would hope you are not rapping over, your songs and things like that. A little pop-out show. Okay, fine. You're not going to get let me throw the instrumental on. I got a whole show for them. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just doing an in and out thing. Put this, let me just rap, let them know I'm here. I'm here. Give me my bottles. Boom. Right. Yeah, all of those people you just named right now are not really doing anything significant. Maybe Max B because he just got out of jail. You feel what I'm saying? But like Cam is not even rapping no more. You know what I mean? And I wouldn't even think Cam could even, you know what I mean? Like he was fire back then. It's just not the same.
Right.
It ain't the same. So he probably didn't even want to rap that. You feel what I'm saying? That day, he was probably like, he just heard what Kiss just did. I don't even want to rap this snowball. You feel what I'm saying? Like,
right.
You know what I mean? Like, and you don't even remember things like that because you're so in that flow back then. It's like, but Kiss is not, it's different type of flow.
Right.
It's a different type flip. He's not rapping like Cam rapping. To remember what Cam was saying is kind of like, you know what I mean? Like maybe on a good day, you know what I mean? On a drunk day, I'm singing the lyrics back, but when you hear Locks, it's like, oh, all right, I know a Kiss joint line for line for line.
Right.
So it's a different, you hear Kiss rapping over his own joint, you're a disappointed individual. That's just not what Kiss is from.
Yeah.
Kiss is not even that type of rapper to be rapping over his joints, you know what I mean? But Jewels, he's more of like a, you know what I mean? More of a visual rapper.
Right.
More of a, you like him for his style, who he is, where he from, his flow difference, his cadence, his versatility, you know what I mean? Like, not for him being full, he's lyrical, don't get me wrong. Shout out to, Jewels, you feel what I'm saying? But he's not a Jada Kiss, he's not a Styles P, he's not one of those ones,
But this is somebody who came up with the greats. So it's all about your craft. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it seems like when it comes to certain venue, they'll say, you know what, I'm not going to put much effort into this. Let me just play my song. I just rap over my song. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Bro, it's all about the craft. If the money ain't right, then don't do the show. You know what I'm saying? Because you have people who pay to see you and they're looking forward to see that.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, my thing is, I think it's just the rappers that are killing rap and a lack of support. You know what I mean?
I totally agree.
If we can change that, if we can change that to where your followers and your subscribers will support you, bro, listen, man, every artist would be great at what they do.
Absolutely.
Because there's money coming in.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And at this point, I think when nobody else is doing a third verse, it's one or two verse, every album should be a classic.
Absolutely.
If you've been rapping and there's no more third verse, it's just one verse and two verse now, bro, you should be able to write your ass off.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Some of the greatest work should be now.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
You mentioned Fleet Lloyd.
Fleet Lloyd, yeah.
You have a relationship with him?
Yeah, that's the bro.
Okay. He done mastered the game to where he got his own website and, people are buying vinyls and all that. Like, why you don't sit down with him and say, you know what? I want to go the same direction you're going. I want to follow what you're doing. Why you didn't do that?
Nah, I've had talks with my brother's G4 Jack, so
Right.
you know what I mean. I had talks with my brother G4 Jack, you know what I mean, and it's not that that's not the direction I want to go. It's just pricey, you know what I mean. Everything costs to be an artist. It's expensive.
Right.
It ain't cheap. So you know, to do things like that, like I said, it's costly, and you got to have the fan base in order to do those things. And at this point in time now, I'm just building that fan base right now, you know, and just being consistent with the music and putting out. But I'm on like a couple of years now, you know. So, and like I said, we're talking about Sincerely Yours. So, I mean, just to even have this opportunity to talk about a project I did years ago, you know, it's, I just knows that my music is living and it's doing what it's supposed to do,
Right.
you know. So I'm just chalking it up to that until I get to that point where I have that fan base where I can do vinyls and actually book a show where I can be the, you know, the leading act, you know what I mean, and have people
Headliner.
open it up for me.
Right.
And I want to be in that position and that cost. You know, so especially being an independent artist and you not having a backing, I fund everything myself, to my merchandise, to me as an artist. So it's just getting to that point where I could fully be financially stable to handle all of those aspects and do the music at the same time, you know.
Right.
Right now I'm just focused on the music, just trying to get it out to the people, and then I can get into those spaces where I can start doing vinyls. Word.
Right. Do people reach out to you for verses?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Features? Yeah, of course. Yes, sir.
Would you say, okay, I'm still up and coming? Do you consider yourself still up and coming?
Yes.
Or okay. Do you charge for verses, or do you say, you know what, send me the beat?
I charge for verses if I don't know your music.
Right.
And if you might have heard me somewhere and you're just like, oh, let's work, and if I don't know you, then yes, I would charge you. Nothing crazy, you know, because like I said, I'm human, just like everybody else. So, but like $150, something like that, something like, you know what I mean? And that's just for my time, really. And I'm doing everything. I'm sending my turnaround time probably like 48 hours.
Right.
So you get a verse back. So yeah, just showing love. That's me showing love. Any person that is working, really doing music, and I know you're doing music, and I respect it and support it, then a verse for a verse. You know, I might do a verse for you, do a verse for me. I might do a verse for one of your artists, and you know what I mean, I just need you to do a verse for one of my artists, something like that. So it's a, you know, more of a barter situation. One hand wash the other, they both wash the face.
Got you.
Or
That's Life. Another song from Sincerely Yours. You mentioned selling products to teachers, and you also mentioned Wayne Loke.
yo, luck. That's crazy. We were just talking about Wayne Lowe.
Who's Wayne Loke?
Oh man, that's my brother that passed away. R.I.P. Man, Big Loke man from Harlem man, 115 to the sky. Word. My brother Dwayne.
Was that the same situation you talked about earlier or something?
Nah, something totally different.
So talk about that.
Yeah, man. Like I said, I write about my life. Wayne Loke is one of my big brothers, man, that I grew up with on 15th Street. In and out, you know, in and out of jail. And he got killed years ago. And something that affected me, you know. So I always just want to, you know, show love and just try to, you know, let them know that I care by putting them in the music. That's all.
Why was he killed?
To be honest, I don't know. You know, Wayne Loke was one of those dudes that, you know, he going to get his respect. he going, you know what I mean? Like, it's not one of the dudes that, you know, that you want to come face to face to. You know, Wayne Loke was one of those dudes. Like, you know, I looked up to him, man. That's one of the big bros. He always looked out for me. He always showed me love, you know. And like I said, so from childhood, like I grew up from Sandbox, you know. I love my bro, man. So R.I.P. Wayne Loke, man. Word.
Selling products to teachers. Is that reality or fiction?
Now, I mean, yeah. however you want to call it. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I'm not, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna incriminate myself.
Yeah, it's in the past though.
But yeah, nah, it's definitely the past, man. Yeah, past stuff. You know what I mean? But yeah, teachers they were human. You know, being young. You know, yeah, this is nothing crazy. I'm not sounding like all that shit. Weed, man. Oh, weed. You know what I'm saying? Nothing serious, you know, but little weed. You know what I
Right.
mean? And school back then, man, it was just more of like a playground. You know, we went to have fun. You know, school it was more of like bagging shorties, you know what I mean? Yeah, we was there for the education, but yeah, it was more like, you know what I mean, we wanted to go to school to bag the joints, you know what I mean? Be outside, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Right.
You're on the homies, but yeah, so yeah, selling the teachers, that's how you made the little come up, you know what I mean? Teachers they need love too. Teachers need love too.
Yeah.
Word.
Something that happened recently, I want to touch on.
Yeah.
A friend of yours,
Okay.
Fox 5,
Oh man. All
passed
right.
away.
Yeah.
And surprise everybody how he passed away.
Yeah.
What do you think about the statement that Gangsta Lou made?
Gangsta Lou, man. Shout out to big homie Lou, man. Fox 5, man, my brother, man, he was actually on the, you know what I mean, one of my recent albums that came out, Almighty God Flow, you know. Yeah, big homie Lou, man, big homie Lou. He was the big homie to a lot of, you know, up and coming homies out there. And off of his word, you know, like his word is his word, you know. Fox, I feel like I was rocking with Fox towards the end of his days. You know, I don't feel like nobody should be speaking on Fox. You know, he's not here to speak for himself. I don't think anybody knows what he was going through that day of or before that. You know what I mean? Because he didn't show it. You know, a lot of people say he was, you know what I mean, sipping, but again, he was a grown man. You know, he made his own decisions, and even people speaking on him. You know, I don't even feel comfortable speaking on him, but he was the bro. I love him. You know what I mean? I don't feel anybody should be speaking on him, though. You know, let him rest in peace, because when he was here, nobody talked about him. That's it. Now he's gone. Everybody, his videos everywhere. He's on everybody's social medias, and that's how you know he was outside. You know, very lively individual. You know what I mean? Very positive individual. You know what I mean? Didn't hear anything, you know, negative come from Five. You know, always positivity. So the things I've heard, you know, I just hope that his family stay blessed and loved, and much respect to his family. Much respect to the individuals that was harmed that day. You know what I mean? Shout out to them. And at this, you know, I feel like no one should be speaking on Fox 5 and what type of state he was in at that point in time. You know, especially if he wasn't there. You know, yeah. Let him rest in peace.
Did that statement from Gangsta Lou surprise you? Because it surprised me. The reason why is like he said, "That's my little man," and you know, I'm assuming that's your friend. You know what I mean? So
everybody's big Lou's him man, little man. You know what I mean? Like it's a big homie Lou. Everybody's big homie Lou, little man. You know what I mean? He's an OG from back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Like Uptown, Sugar Hill. You know what I mean? So, I mean, everybody to him is these little homies, and at the end of the day, just let him rest in peace.
Right.
That's all. You know, unless you was fully there. You know, if you was fully there, you could speak on it, you know, but other than that, I would just let him rest in peace, man. Good dude. He got a family, you know, the individuals that was hurt that day, you know, to speak on his mind state and what he was going through, and you not knowing the full story. You can't speak on what type of drugs he was doing, if he was doing drugs. How do you know?
But yeah, why even say that though? Like that's not for you to say if you rock with somebody. If a stranger said that, yo, I heard he smoked. Cool. But if you rock with somebody, why would you say that? That's some lame shit to me. That's some lame shit.
It's
We can't do that.
right. And like I said, it's to the point where you can't speak on it unless you are him. You know, Lou. I think I've seen so many people come out on social media about Fox. It's not even funny, and I don't remember him talking about these individuals. And I just talked, like I said, he was just on my recent project. You know what I mean? So it's like I was just talking to him, you know what I mean? His mom's passed. He went, you know what I mean? He was homeless. He got a good crib, you know what I mean? I seen when he moving his crib, you know what I mean? The most I seen him drink was a Guinness and some, you know what I mean? Like some bottles or whatever, but nothing crazy, like, you know what I mean? Like, not for that I know. I'm all the way in PA though, you know what I mean? So I'm not in the Bronx. I'm not with him on a daily basis. So I can't, like I said, it's things I can't speak on. You know what I mean? So I can't speak on if he was doing this or doing that. I never got that type of sense, you know what I mean? From where I feel like Lou's talking about, I feel like Lou's talking about like early on, you know what I mean? When Fox came back home and all of that, you know what I mean? He was chilling with Lou and all of that. But I don't feel like that's the same individual that he was when he passed. You know what I mean? Like,
Gotcha.
when you seen Lou and him on Flip the Script in the interview, you know what I mean? Like, he didn't even have his foot, like he was just starting his dreads, you know what I mean? When he died, he had full dreadlocks, you know what I mean? Like, it was a big time frame, you know what I mean? Big time difference, you know what I mean? So that individual that you caught in the past, like I said, niggas progressed, you feel what I'm saying? Niggas, you're not even the same individuals no more. Like, he literally rapping about it on a daily basis, like Boy Cat Books, you feel what I'm saying? So, like I said, man, to each his own. You can have your own, you know what I mean, perspective on Five if you want to, you know what I mean? I'm going to keep it rent-free in my head that, you know what I mean, he was a love individual, great soul, you know what I mean? And I want to keep that living on, man. He was a great dude, man. Word. Respect to you, Five.
Yeah, rest in peace.